Hello and welcome to Star Citizen. My name's Steve Woody and this is a Zero to Hero beginner's guide. In this video series, I'm going to assume you've already watched the introduction, which was the tutorial, and teaching you the basics of keybinds, the UI, and how the game works. So you've already got that basic understanding. I'm going to assume you know that. And what we're going to do in this is about 1 hour videos. And we're going to work on different professions, and we're going to rent our first ship. We're going to look to buy our first ship. We're going to look at a few different core game loops just to give you a real idea of the game. And the reason I'm on the test server right now, the PTU, is because it's actually the most stable release that I've played in quite a long time. We're in version 3.23.1 right now. And yeah, we're just going to jump ahead and get started. So we have on us nothing but a spacesuit. If I go into my inventory, you'll see here we have no inventory, we have no items, we have just a helmet, very much literally just a helmet and an undersuit. So we're going to go ahead with that and we're going to get started. And if we look at our balance, you can see we have 0 credits. Now the only thing that I've done since starting this game is set my bind point at the medical center, which I did in introduction. So I'm on Port Tresla at the moment. And if you're starting a game, I do recommend you start at New Babbage. It's great for beginners, and Port Tresla is a great station. So we're going to head downstairs, and we're going to go and pick up our ship, and we're going to start our first mission. Because at the moment, we have no money at all. And so this first hour is really just about us obtaining some starter capital to buy ourselves a gun. So we're going to go ahead. We're not going to cheese anything in this game. We're not going to cheat. We're not going to do any of the exploits that are available. We're going to play this game as it was intended. And we're just going to enjoy what Star Citizen has to offer, even from just taking a moment to appreciate where you are and how this game persistently and seamlessly works. Now there are bugs, and we do have to bear that in mind. And the other thing to note here is I do have a couple of ships as part of my game package. We're going to ignore both of those. We're only going to start with the RSI Aurora. Because if you watch my previous video, I actually showed you how to get started with this game the cheapest way possible. So we're going to assume you only have the one starter ship, which will be the Aurora MR, and we're just going to use that. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is pick a contract up so that we can actually do some work. So we're going to press F1, just have a look at what's available. Come across to our contracts tab. And you'll also notice in reputation, we have 0 reputation. This is another reason why I'm in the test server, because I was able to reset everything. On your main account, you don't have the ability to reset. So you have to be careful, because if you get negative reputation, you have to work at that. So we're going to go to contracts, and the first thing we're going to do is a simple delivery mission. Now before I start any gameplay, I always go into the mercenaries tab, and I always select a call to arms. I accept this because you get 500 credits for every outlaw that you deal with. It's just an extra bit of money, so we always have that running in the background. Now we're going to go to delivery, and we need to do a simple delivery mission. Now at the moment we need to do an evaluation. We're not going to do a retrieval op, so we're going to do a 5k mission because we want to do the evaluation, and that's going to be a simple pickup and a simple drop off. Now the locations are going to vary depending on your gameplay, and also the missions, they're dynamically or procedurally generated, so you're going to have different missions to what I have here. So we're not going to go for a set plan, we're just going to see what comes up. But right now we have to head over to SMCA on Calop. So we're going to go to our maps and we can have a look at where that is. We can also type in here if we wanted to once we're in our ship, and set a route to be able to guide us there. But because the game's actually a lot better now, we should be able to do that automatically. We're going to test this and see if it works. So let's jump in. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do before I get started is I'm going to have to track this new contract. So I'm going to go to delivery. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to click track. Because my call to arms was what was being tracked, not this one. Okay. Now we're going to jump in our ship. We can see that yellow marker now. Again, I'm going to assume you understand the basic controls, but we're going to power on our ship. I've got hotkeys on a Stream Deck that I use for this. I'm going to turn on my engines. I'm going to contact landing. And I'm going to take off. And I'm using the Thrustmaster, the T16,000M two setup joysticks, which is the HOSAS setup, hands on stick on stick. Going to lift our landing gear up, and now we're off. Nice and easy. So what we're doing at the moment is just the very basics of getting used to taking off, finding a location. Once we've got that location, now as you can see we can't actually quantum travel to this at the moment. So we're going to press F1, go to our maps, and we're going to look at where it is we need to go. And if we need to head to contracts, just to remember, we're actually going to the Shubin mining facility SMC-8. So if we go to maps and start typing in SMC, there we go, we know we're going to 8. So we can tick that, press R to route, and now we've got that route set up. Now if I press F1, now it will allow me to navigate there. Now we should be able to navigate to the yellow markers. It doesn't always work. So now we're in quantum travel. It's going to take a few seconds to get there. And because we're in a starter ship, we're very slow, limited range, very stock weapons, shields, and speed. So just bear that in mind. Okay, now we can actually navigate to it from the yellow marker. And it's always going to drop us about 25 kilometers above the ground, away from the target, sorry. Leaving the atmosphere on a planet is normally about 11,500 meters. So we're going to start at around that altitude. And we're just going to head in here. There should be no problems. There should be no bad guys. There should be no players, hopefully. So now we can just boost in. As you see, we're about 11,500 meters up. About 21,000 meters out. So we're going to head in nice and easy. Going to put our speed up. We're going to boost. And as soon as we get to about 10k out, or just slightly under that, we're going to let go of the boost. If it hasn't died already. And we're just going to glide in. Now you want to be careful as you're coming in really fast. One thing you don't want to do is crash. Or blackout or anything like that. So we're just going to slow ourselves down. Nice and easy. So about 4k's out now. And this is about the point where you want to start checking for mountains. If we're going through clouds. Sometimes it can be a bit of a challenge. If it's at night or day. Different approaches, different planets. You're going to find different fun stuff to play with. But here we go. We're coming down to here. We can see exactly where we need to land. Now, if you're struggling to see what you're doing, you can change your view. Oh, we have a view here. There's lots of different views that we can choose from. But this could sometimes help you to come in to see where you're going. If not, we come back inside so we get our heads-up display. Now we can see exactly where we want to go. Now we can put down our landing gear. Now we're getting close. And we can just glide in. And we can see this is the building we're looking for. Which is this building just in front of us here. So we can see this mining facility. It's quite a big facility. There's a lot going on here. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to bring this down. Now you can park wherever you want. If you're not feeling confident, you can go to the landing bay. But if you are, you can just bring it down right about here. We've got the landing gear down, so we're all good. A nice, easy landing. And then we're going to press I. Always press I to turn off your ship engines. So you're going to see that here. It tells you in the bottom right hand corner what you need to do. Now our engines are off. We can get out of our seat. Always get in the habit of doing that. Because if you don't, you'll come out and your ship will be flying about 15 meters above the ground. And you won't be able to get in it. Alright. So now we're out. Back onto foot. We're going to make sure we got our headgear on. Because that's important. Otherwise we could have a problem. We can always press F1 and it will tell you on the planet if it's safe or not. It is safe, so we could take our helmet off. We're not going to. You need to be careful as well, because sometimes when you're in your ship it's classed as safe, but when you step outside it's not. So always check outside in your suit first. Okay, so inside here we're going to, first thing we're going to do is look for any loot. There could be some loot cases like this one that just kind of despawned on us. Sometimes that happens, it's fine. But you kind of got the idea. There was a little red box on the floor there. You kind of just saw it. Alright, but that's what we're looking for. So what we're looking for now is our package, which is just around here. We're going to pick this package up. Carry it to our ship. Now, we don't have any cargo storage in our ship. We have to just literally take it in with us. We're going to cycle back out. Now, different planets have different climates. Some are going to be warm, cold, etc. You're going to have to really consider where you are and what you're doing, and you'll get used to this as you play the game. But for now, we're just going to get back into our ship. We're going to place this down on the floor. Okay, there's our box in our ship. We'll close the door so it doesn't fly out. And that was nice and easy. Now we're just going to take off. Now you can go and loot the other buildings if you want to. See if you find anything worth. You might find some armor. You might even find a backpack. You can find a few things. But honestly, at the moment, we're trying to be efficient. One of the biggest things to do in this game is to find your core game loops that you enjoy, but you want to be efficient with them as well. You don't want to waste time. And there's a lot of ways in this game to waste time, which is cool. You know, if you just want to fly around and that's okay. But at the moment, because we have no money, we really need to get a good start. We need to get a better ship. There's a lot of things we need to do. So we're going to head out the atmosphere right now, get up to 11,000 meters, or 11,500 meters. So we're boosting up at the moment. Lift your landing gear up. I can't believe I forgot to do that. Makes a lot of sense because you're going to go a lot quicker with your landing gear lifted. Alright, now we're out of the atmosphere. We can just head for where we're going, which is to drop off the package this way. Now we're going to double check we're going to the right place. So if we press again F2, or if we press F1, sorry, go to the contracts tab. In the contracts tab, it's going to tell us on the delivery where we need to go. So it says we need to go to Clio, we need to go to the research outpost. So we can now go to the map and type in research outpost. And what we're looking for is the one that's on Clio, which is going to be this one here. Now that's not actually showing up on our map. We can't. So we can always type in this, which is Rayara. So we're going to do that. We're going to type in RAY on the map, and it will come up here, and there's a research outpost. And now we can see it. Now we can press R, and we're going to route towards it. Excellent. And now we should be able to there we go. Now it's allowing us to navigate towards it. So you just got to find a little workarounds. The game does have a few little bugs, but it's the most stable it's been. So if you can't target, just reset the target, maybe go somewhere else. Right, we don't want that planet, so we're actually going to come out of Quantum Drive at this time. And we're going to see if we can re-pick up that target now. No, it's still not allowing us to pick it up. So again, we're going to come back into the menu. We're going to go to our contracts. Click on our delivery. Right, we need to deliver this package again to the main outpost on Clio. So RAYARI is where we're going to. So just going to make sure we got that in. Oh, I actually typed in the wrong one. That was my bad. It's the one on Clio that we want. There we go. Now it's allowing us to target to it. There we go. So first we need to do is go to Clio. There we go. And now we can target it. Sometimes it's a little bit finicky. Normally it's really good. But you just have to play about with it. And it's also good because it gives you the understanding of how these systems work. And you get to build up that muscle memory of moving to different locations. Alright, so all we're going to do here is just land. We're going to drop off the package. And so 15 minutes into the game so far, and we've just completed our first mission. Now it always, for some reason, leaves you upside down when you come out of quantum travel. I don't know why it does that. We're just going to spin around. And we're 20 kilometers out. Another trick that sometimes people use, if they can't get to where they're going, is they will quantum drive past and they'll come out of quantum above where they want to go and just drop straight down. So you can do that as well. You want to kind of get out of the habit of just flying though, because it's quite slow to do that. So you want to quantum wherever you can, and again, the game developers are getting better at fixing those little bugs in the system. So it takes a little bit of time, but we're actually quite close to the ground at the moment, so we want to be careful. We don't come in too fast. Last thing we want to do now is crash. So a couple of kilometers up. And we can see where we're going there. So this is going to be the research outpost. Again, there is a few buildings. We can go and check them out if we want to. Don't want to come in too quick. Remember, when you get close enough, put your landing gear down. But that's going to limit you to 30 meters a second, which you want to be a little bit careful, because as you're starting out in the game, you don't want to... The last thing you want to do is start crashing. I mean, it's good practice, but we're going to put our landing gear down now. Again, if you need to see where you are, you can now get an idea. So there's a landing pad here to the right. A few buildings that you can see. So a few things. We're going to come in now, nice and easy. And this is the building that we want over here, straight in front of us. So we can look for the entrance, which is just here. And we can put the ship down again, using this view if we need to. We come back inside the ship, press I, and let's take our package in. So I want you to get the idea of the gameplay, which is why I'm not editing or skipping anything. Also, there's no hype, and I don't want to waste your time either. Hopefully you'll enjoy this series. No crazy edited intros or anything like that, just straight into the gameplay. We're going to do these missions. So if you ever get stuck, you'll know what to do. So we come up to this box. We have to hold down F, click on drop off. Now this can sometimes glitch. So we're going to put this down, step back and hope for the best. Should accept it. Sometimes it comes back into your hand and you sit here for ages and then you get a server crash. But nope, that's worked. And our first mission is now complete. We're going to take a little bit of time to just look around here, see if there's any loot boxes. There's not. Sometimes there are. Okay, so we're going to head back out.
Hello.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our first mission complete.
It's over there.
Now, we can go and look in the other buildings if we want to. We're not going to. We don't really need to, but you can have a look around. In fact, I'll show you one, just so you can see this one. If somebody's got here before you, if there's other ships, then typically it's already been looted. Loot takes about 10 to 15 minutes to respawn. But I just want to show you what we're looking for in terms of a loot box. So all of this is just decoration. What we'll be looking for are kind of grey boxes. We'll go into these rooms and see if there's one here. There'll normally be in the entrance if they're anywhere. There's nothing here. You can look around though. It's kind of good to explore. Check this room. Yeah, no boxes in here. So this looks like it's either already been looted or just nothing spawned. One more room to check. Nope, there's nothing here, so I can't show you, unfortunately. But we'll see them as we play the game. They're little either grey boxes or there's little red boxes. And yeah, you can loot those and pick up the gear. So nothing here for us, but that's okay. Alright, let's head back to our ship. And now we need to decide what is going to be our next mission. So we press F1. And we want to get a little bit more money before we head back to buy some stuff. So we're going to go back to our contracts. We've completed our delivery contract. And you can see now we've got 5,750 credits. Now you're going to start with more than that because you're going to have some starting capital from when you bought your game package. So you're already going to be here. I'm taking this from the absolute, we've got 0. And building ourselves up from that. So now we're going to have a look at the next type of mission. You can see we've got a lot of delivery missions now. We can do more of these. And if you like this core game loop and you want to keep practicing, then yeah, keep going. The lower the cost, the easier they are. So this is 3K for 2 packages, which means you need to go to 2 separate local, one from the lobby, one from the shipping area, and then you need to go there to drop them off. This one is just, it's more money, but you've only got to go to 1. This one, there's lots and lots, so you can get the idea. Also, some of them you're going to end up getting into fights. There's going to be people that you have to go and it even tells you on here. I'm expecting the Outlaws are going to put up a fight. So just bear that in mind that some of these locations you're going to come up against some resistance for the higher end packages. But we're not going to do those. We're done with delivery for now. We're going to go and do a simple investigation mission. Simple investigation. And all there is a missing person. And we're looking for the 6K. The basic. The very basic. There's kind of 3 different versions here. The 6K. There's, as you can see, there's a 12K. Or the 13K, which are caves. So these ones are going to be the cave. You'll see it written here. Okay, the cave can be accessed. And then this one, which is a 34K mission. This is the same as a 6K. Exactly the same. But there's going to be resistance. And we're not quite ready for that yet. We don't even have a gun. So we're going to ignore the timer on that one. We're going to go and do this first mission. Again, it's timed. You should always have the 6K available. We're going to accept the offer. If not, then you can do another delivery mission and wait for it. Also, it depends on where you are in the universe. So sometimes if you go back to Port Tresley, you're going to have different opportunities. So what planet you're on, where you are, what time of the day it is, all these things affect what contracts are available. Now, we're not always going to be doing contract work. There's also ways you can make money in this game by not doing contracts, and we'll look at those a bit later. But for now, let's stop talking, let's take off. Okay, we're going to start our engines. We don't need to contact ARC or anything like that because we just landed. So landing gear up. And let's get ourselves out of this orbit. Now, the good reason that we're doing these contracts as well at the moment is sometimes when you do the evaluation contract, it then opens up additional contracts. So one of the things you're going to see, I'll just show you very quickly. If I go to reputation, I now have reputation with the UDM, which is a Unified Distribution Management. This is a guild within the Stanton system that we're currently in. As you can see, my application's been accepted and I'm now a junior runner. So as I get more jobs and I progress, and if I complete those jobs, I'll get positive reputation. If I fail a job or something goes wrong, then I'll get negative reputation. And as I get my positive reputation up, I'll start to fill up this bar, and then I'll progress to become a full-time runner, and I'll have much, much better jobs available to me. So that goes for every industry. And there's lots and lots. And it also, depending on the system you're in, we're actually in Microtech right now. If I went across to Stanton or a different, sorry, not Stanton. If I went across to Hurston or a different system, then I'm going to have different contracts. There's different factions there. So just something else to bear in mind. Alright, so let's head over to this next contract, which is over here. Locate this missing person. The other good thing about setting a route and when you want to go, that's actually going to take us to Port Tresley, which is not where we want to go. We're going to head over that way anyway, because that's going towards... It's going towards where we want to go. But the good reason about actually setting a route is it removes all of the noise from quantum travel. Otherwise you could end up traveling pretty much anywhere. So we're going to head towards Microtech. Okay, so we can see where we need to go. Down here to the distribution center. And again, you can keep doing these missions, they're nice and easy. But we kind of want to progress because we're not really making much money at the moment. We're in a very slow ship. We haven't got any gear. So we don't want to stay in this state for too long. So you can practice, keep doing these missions. But I'd recommend you kind of progress at this stage and kind of start working towards that rental ship that we want. We can't afford to buy a ship at the moment. But we can definitely rent one to do some better contracts. Okay, so pretty much the same as before. We're going to fly down to land. Now we're on a different planet, so we need to make sure with every planet we kind of get an idea of where we are. The last thing you want to do is fly down because you're looking at your altitude and you think you're okay, only to find out there's a mountain in front of you. Especially if you're at night like this or it's foggy. Certain situations can make it really difficult. You don't want to crash. I'm trying to get out of the habit of dying as much as possible. Now the distribution centers are actually all set out the same. So once you've learnt one layout, they're pretty identical. We're going to see this as we come down now. So it's quite a big facility. And I'll show you just as we get a bit closer. We're going to land in a specific point. Okay. So you'll kind of get the idea of this. There's a left and a right side, and then you've got the big bit in the middle. The bit in the middle is where we're going to be. That's the distribution center itself. So the left and the right side are identical, just landing bays. And you can request to land here. We're not actually going to do that, but we could if we wanted to. What we're going to do is we come in, and this is really good practice as well, because if you can do this now, at this stage, then when you come to do this and it's hostile, you'll already know the area. So what I recommend is if you look, you've got the left, the right, and the middle section. We're going to aim for this middle section here. And it doesn't matter if you come on the left or the right side, it really doesn't matter. But what we're looking for is the ramps on the side here. As you come down, you'll start to see them. We're going to land so we can get into one of these ramps. Because if you do that, in here, you can see that just in front of me here, it's a bit dark. And I can actually turn my lights on my ship. That's the other thing you can do. There we go. So you can see there's the east exit point and the east entrance point. Now, if you land and go in there, and I'd recommend this on your first playthrough, if you land and go in there, you'll actually be able to walk around without being attacked, without having any problems, and you can learn the layout. Now, I'm not actually going to do that at this stage, because we're going to go in here, because this is where the missing person is. So we actually want to come up to this landing point. So you can see the landing pad's right here. So we're going to come down to this landing pad. Now, we haven't requested to land at the moment. So, just going to do this. Okay, put our landing gear down. And now we can land nice and easy. Okay. Now, sometimes if you land on these landing pads, you might end up getting a ticket. So you do have to be careful. And it will tell you if you're going to be impounded or not. We're okay at the moment. So we'll turn our engine off. And we're going to leave. Alright, so now we've got to go and find this missing person. Now remember, we don't have any guns. We are in a safe zone at the moment. So we can head up here. We need to get inside. Now this is kind of the top level here. And there's not really many bad people up here. But as we come for the mission later, we'll actually go downstairs. Okay, just open that door. Sometimes it lags a little bit. Just need to bear that in mind. There we go. Alright, and we're inside. So now what we need to do is we need to look for the places where it's telling us to investigate, which is back behind us. So we're going to come down. Now we can go either way, left or right side, what we're looking for. You've got these little ports here. You can actually open these. You can climb inside. So now we're inside. We're going to look around. Again, there's no one here. But what we're looking for is we're looking at these investigation points. And we're looking for a body. So there should be a body down here somewhere. And we have to go to all the different investigation points. Now, there's actually a box here that you can see. We can loot this box. Open it up. And there's a few items in the container. Now, we can open up our inventory. And you're going to see we've got our external, but we've got no local at the moment. So there's nowhere we can't put this anywhere. So we can carry this in our hand if we wanted to. We can drop it, but we haven't actually got anywhere to store it. So we're not going to worry at the moment. We're not going to worry about anything like that. And again, if you do look on your body, we've got nothing at the moment. So once we've got armor, once we've got stuff later, we'll be able to do that. Now, here's the body. So we're going to jump up here. And we're going to call this in. So we're going to go up to it and we're going to send a location. And that's it. Mission complete. So we've just completed our second mission. And now we understand. Oh, don't want to go in there. We're going to go all the way back to the way we just come. And get back in our ship. And now we're going to head back to Port Tresla. Now, something you can do at this stage is you could actually log out and log back in. At the moment, if you were to do that, if you were to log out and log back in, it would log you back in. It would actually log you back in at Port Tresla. Now, I'm not going to do that because that would be a bit of a cheesy thing to do. We don't want to go down there. So you need to make sure we get out. So it tells you there, power facility. You can just kind of see where you're going. Central center. So we can head down here. Trying to find those stairs to get us up. Can't actually remember where I'm going now. I've got lost. Thought it was here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we jump up here. Okay, so you can get out. There we go. And we're back out again. So that's the way to get in there. Then we're going to come back out to our ship, which I think was on this top level. Nope, it wasn't. That was too far. We're going to go up. There are signposts. You can use them. You will get used to this. We're looking for the hangar. So main lobby there. It says their landing pad. So that's what we're looking for. Visitor parking. This one's the employee lounge. So we want this one here at the end. And out we go. So again, you do have to get used to these facilities. They do sometimes get a little bit confusing, but overall, the map is going to help you as well. And if I press F2 to open up the map, I can actually set a route. So if I need to go somewhere, or I know where I need to go, I can actually press R, and it's going to be able to route me to that location or to where I need to go. So it's a lot easier than it used to be. Alright, and there's our ship. So now we've completed our second mission. We've now got enough credits, we can go and buy ourselves a gun. That's exactly what we're going to go and do now. So we're going to head back to Port Tresla. We're going to press F2. So F2 is going to bring up our map. Now we're in our seat. Just type in Port Tresla here. So. Okay, go into the maps. Okay. For some reason, it's not letting me select a location. If that ever happens, that's fine. Just come out. And go back in. Nope, it's not letting us. Fine. We're just going to take off. Alright, now we're up. We need to head up. Same thing, we need to get out of orbit and head back to Port Tresla. Alright, try again. Press F2. And now we can do it. It's letting us do it now. So, okay, Port Tresla. It says it's obstructed at the moment, so we can't get there. So let's get ourselves out of... we're going to get ourselves out of orbit. At the moment, it's just not letting us route to it. Again, these are little things that the devs will fix. But again, overall, it's in the best playable state the game's ever been in. So, highly recommend if you're going to play this game, or if you played it a long time ago and you want to come back, now's a really good time. There's a big update coming that's going to change the whole interaction system with cargo and how loot works. So before that comes in, it's kind of good just to get used to the game and just enjoy it in its current stable state. Alright, we're going to try again now. Now we can route. So we press R, we can route there, and now we can simply quantum travel. So we're going to go to OM3 first. OM stands for orbital marker. Each planet has 6 orbital markers. It's just a way to slingshot around a planet because quantum travel is line of sight. And so if there's a planet or something in the way, you can't quantum travel. And so what you have to do is you'll have to go around things. And that's the idea of the orbital markers. The orbital markers allow you to quickly navigate around a planet using quantum travel. Alright, so Port Tresla. Now we're going to come in. Now remember, we're going to be going fast at this point. We've all done it. We've all flown towards a space station and not been able to stop and crashed into it. Which is why I always aim off slightly. That way, if I can't stop, at least I just fly past it. Call that one from experience. So get within 10 clicks and then we can request the landing.
You are clear to launch.
It says launch, but we mean land, so we know what we mean. Alright, so we're going to come up to our hangar, which is just here. You can also change this if we want to, so you can turn off your quantum by changing the master modes. Now the other thing to mention here as well with master modes is we're in navigation at the moment, and we can get a lot of speed up with navigation, but we have no shields and no weapons. So if we switch master modes to guns, we can now rotate between guns and missiles, and we have shields, but we're a lot slower. So you have to decide whether you want to have speed or whether you want to have shields. At the moment we're going for speed because we're not really fighting. So just come a bit closer. Put our landing gear down. Now the landing gear does limit you to 30 meters a second, and if this is too slow for you, you can speed it up. You need to go into the options to disable the slowdown. But at the start of the game, I recommend keeping it on. It wouldn't be the first time I've just flown straight into the back of a hangar and blown up. Okay, so now we're in, we can go and land. We need to get into the habit as well. Every time we land, we need to store our ship. Otherwise, we could end up... If we don't do that, we could end up getting a parking ticket. And those fines can be really expensive. And we don't really have the money to pay fines at the moment, so... Yeah, make sure you store your ship. And let's go buy some gear. Alright, so now we've done some basic delivery missions, we've done some investigation missions. I think it's time we switch it up a little bit. We're going to go and do an FPS mission. We're going to go and have a fight and kill some bad guys. So again, that's why we've got the call to arms contract. But to do that, we're going to need to get a gun.
To the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
So we're going to store our ship. And we're going to head downstairs. Now, every space station above the planet is pretty much the same. You've got a medical clinic. You've also got the easy hab for sleeping. You've also got the elevators. So there you go. So you've got easy hab for when you spawn into a location. If you just logged in. You've got a medical clinic if you die and you've set your respawn point. And you've got the elevators. And then you've got the fleet terminals. So pretty much those 4 buildings. On the space stations above a planet. That's what you're going to find. And then when you come to the elevator, you're going to have a cargo center, a galleria, and a hab. Sometimes there'll be a refinery. Sometimes there won't be a cargo center. So what we're going to do here is head to the galleria into this building here. And then we're going to pick up a gun. So click on the terminal. We're going to buy a gun. Now we've got 11,750 credits. So what we want to do here is we're going to click on personal weapons. We're going to scroll down, and all we want to do is we want to buy a very simple handgun. We'll go for the LH86. We've now bought that, and we're going to go ahead and buy a pistol magazine as well. So we just want to get, we can buy 2. So we'll get 2 magazines. Now the only other thing we want to buy at the moment is we want to go to armor, and we want to buy a backpack. Now if you look at the different backpacks that are available, they have different sizes. See, this one's cheap. This one's a little bit more expensive, but gives you a bit more size. This one, even more size. This one gives you the most size. But it does cost 8,500 credits, and we've only got 10,000 at the moment. So that's a lot of money to spend. But it is something that we can do if we want to have that bigger backpack. Now, at the moment, because we haven't got much money, I'm actually only going to buy a medium backpack. We can come back and get this one later. Or if you want to, you can get it now. There's nothing wrong with getting it now. If you want to. But I'm just going to go ahead and get the medium backpack. The other thing to note is even when I buy this backpack, I cannot put this backpack on.
Good purchase.
And the reason for that is to enable my backpack here.
Hi.
So I bought my gun. So I put my gun on my hip. I've got my ammunition. I've got 2 pouches here, so 2 slots. Now I can't put the backpack on because I don't have any armor. And you might think, well, why am I not buying armor? There's no need. We're about to go and obtain all the armor we need in this game for free. So you don't want to waste your money buying stuff you don't need. Backpacks, you can find a backpack if you're lucky, and if you were blessed at the start in the delivery missions to get one, great. If not, it's definitely worth buying one. But you want to get the one that's going to give you the most amount of storage. That's the whole purpose of the backpack. So a light backpack will fit on a light armor. A heavy backpack will fit on a heavy
ASOC
armor.
Vehicle retrieval system.
We're going to give our ship.
Your vehicle has been delivered.
You cannot put a heavy backpack on light armor, but you can obviously put a light backpack on heavy armor. So just need to bear that in mind. So we're going to go to a hangar. And we're going to select our next mission. Now, for this last mission of the video today, we're going to do an FPS mission. So press F1. We're going to go to contracts. And we're going to look for offers for mercenaries. And we're looking for the 10K, which is the evaluation. The security contractor evaluation. Now, you can do wildlife control. You can do some other stuff as well, illegal monitors. We're not really ready for the boarding action in progress, which is a contract we'll do later. So for now, we're just going to do this one. 10K mission. And it's the evaluation. So you're looking at the price. The price pretty much tells you what kind of mission it's going to be. Alright, we've accepted this. We've got our call to arms already. So now we know where we're going and what we're doing. Let's go jump in our ship. Now because we're in a starter ship, we have no cargo space. So there's no point buying any cargo boxes at the moment. And also, there's not really a lot of storage in this ship. Meaning that when we pick up all of this armor and all of these guns and things, we're not really going to have much in a way of space to store it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off. And we're going to fly down. And we're going to pick up as much gear as we can. Then we're going to load up our ship so it's full. We're going to come back here and we're going to sell it. And we'll keep a set of gear for ourselves. And then we can go on to bigger and better missions, knowing that we can defend ourselves and that we've got everything that we need. Alright, so here we're going to look to quantum travel. Now it's not going to let us quantum travel at the moment from where we are, so we're going to press F2. We're going to look at the contract of where we need to go. And this is telling us that we need to go to TMG XEV2. We're going to cancel that one. We're going to go to TMG XEV2. We're going to route ourselves there. Okay, press R to route. And now we're going to be able to, hopefully, quantum travel in. If we can't, then we can just... Maybe what we need to do is just go back to the map. Sometimes this happens. We need to cancel that route. Sometimes even we need to go somewhere else. So we can just type in anywhere. Route to a completely different location. Cancel that route. And then go back to where we were going. And then it might have just reset itself. In this case, it hasn't. Which is a little bit frustrating. And this does happen from time to time. And the problem we have now is we want to go here. It's calibrating now, even though the visual isn't working. So I'm actually going to go to wherever that is. I don't know where it's sending us. We're going to go there. Now, because we've got the route set, it hopefully is going to take us to where we want to go. And not to anywhere else. Again, visually, some little bugs here and there. It's okay. This is a well, it's an alpha game. It's pre-release. And this game has been in production now for over a decade. They've overcome a lot of bugs. They've still got a lot of bugs. But I think you'll agree, if you look at the current state of the game, it's quite impressive. The level of detail, what you can do, the full immersion, no loading screens, going in and out of orbit between planets. And we haven't even done any server-wide events yet. Xenothreat, Jumptown, there's a lot of different things that we can do with other players. And there's some incredible content creators on YouTube. I'd recommend checking them out for some of the fights that have taken place. The Battle of Jumptown is a great video. There was also the Ghost Hollow one as well, which was a 100-man PvP. So they've had some incredible experiences in this game. And there's more to come. We have a new system coming soon, Pyro, so you'll be able to jump between different systems. Lots and lots to do, lots to explore. But at the moment, we're going to go and get used to some PvP. Later on, we'll get used to some dogfighting. We'll look at all the different core game loops. So whether you want to be a pirate, whether you want to be a drug smuggler, whether you want to be a delivery driver, whether you want to be a bounty hunter, you can pretty much do whatever. If you want to sit on a planet and mine rocks, there's pretty much a job for you. Do whatever you want. And some of the core game loops, they get quite intense. You can go and mine rocks on your own on a planet, but also you can have a whole crew that you take with you, and it takes 3 of you with explosive charges to break some of these rocks. So there's a lot to do. Alright, so data centers are pretty much all the same in layout. You can see there's that light there at night, which is a circle. We're going for the opposite side of the building, so this main hangar. What we're trying to do is go by the ramp, and we're going to get as close as we can to this ramp. Now what we want to make sure is when we come in, on the top left, is there an exclamation point? If there's an red exclamation point in the top left as you're approaching, it means the turrets are going to be armed. And if the turrets are armed, they're going to shoot you, and they hurt. So you want to make sure, if that happens, that you park about 2 kilometers away, and then either walk in, which takes time, or if you've got a ground vehicle in your ship, then you can use that to get in. But this, being the first one, is nice and safe, so we can land right at the front door here. We've got a tiny little ship, so one of the benefits of this is we can get into places we wouldn't otherwise be able to get into. Alright, now one of the things we did wrong, and please don't make this mistake, is I forgot to transfer my backpack. Now I'm not going to go back, but it is a good lesson, and some of you are probably shouting at the screen if you know this game. When we left Port Tresla, I was so busy talking to you that I actually forgot to take my backpack and put it into the ship. Now it's a good job I picked up my my gun, but what I should have done is I should have transferred from the local storage. I should have transferred to my vehicle, and I didn't do that. Now, as you can see here, I don't have access to local storage. It used to be there. It used to be that you could transfer stuff from local storage to the vehicle. We can't do that. So what I need to do is I actually need to come into the facility. Now I'm in the facility. The storage isn't showing up at the moment. That might just mean that I need to do a restart, but that's actually going to be leaving the game. So there's not going to be that local storage anymore. So we'll have to actually physically manually take stuff out. It's part of the game that they're moving towards, is to move the local storage so it's no longer available. Alright, so we're going to grab our gun. There we go, pick our gun up by pressing 2. You can see there's 10 enemies. We want to make sure we don't kill any good guys. Alright, so what we're doing is looking. You can see there's a bad guy right there. So if we shoot him. Shoot him in the head if you can. Right, he's dead. Now there's going to be other people, so we want to make sure we're careful as we come down here. What we don't want to do is get shot. Yep. Oh, if you get shot, then you just run back. Reload. Get to safety. They will chase you. You can see them coming up the middle here. Alright, there's another one dead. That one was nice and easy. There's another guy over here. We can see him. Kill him as well. Them one's quite easy to kill. Now, we've only got 19 rounds left, so what we need to do... we need to pick up one of their guns. Oh! Try not to get shot. We're going to pick up a gun. Now we've got a better gun. So what we can do again, we can run over here. If you're not sure, you're getting shot at, you can come back here. They will all come and eventually come up to you. Now, we can't even see that guy there. So we're not even going to get into that fight. We're just going to wait. They're coming to us. You can see them moving. There's only 3 left now. So they're going to start moving towards us. We'll just wait for them. That's it. There's only one left. 21 bullets. That guy's over here. And the last 3 are always identified. So we can see him here. There we go. All dead. Okay, so now everyone's dead. We've got 30 minutes now to leave. If we don't leave in the next 30 minutes, we're going to be prosecuted. So what we're looking for at the moment, we're looking for the guy with the best gear on him. And it's this guy here that was shooting us. This guy's the best gear. So what we're going to do is we're going to loot his body. There's no bad guys here now. We're going to go to our open inventory. And this guy's got all this great gear. We're going to just drag his undersuit and we're going to put it on. Now if we do that, if we drag his undersuit and put it on, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We might need to drop our undersuit first. Let's Let's just come back out of here at the moment. Alright, let's do this. Let's drop our undersuit. Okay, sometimes, and this is where it sometimes bugs out. If this happens and we can't drop it, it won't work. We just need to bear with us because, yeah, sometimes that happens. But what you can do is drag this undersuit across to you and you'll be able to put it on. But at the moment, we're not able to do that. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to put the gear on this way. So we can just put his armor on, put his arms on. We can even swap the helmet if we want to. There we go. Put the other helmet on. Put the guns on the backpack. Now, we don't have the backpack on us. We can put the guns on our back. And we picked everything up from that guy. So that guy now, he's just got his undersuit on. There's also another guy here as well. So I can loot this guy. And I can actually pick up his magazines, his consumables. I can go to the open inventory. This is the old system. And I can pick up the stuff here. Now, I haven't got my backpack on me, so I can't take that helmet, which I want. It's a little bit frustrating that I didn't bring it, but it is what it is. Now, I can look around here and see if there's anything else I want to take with me. I want to pick up as many of the guns as I can. So what I'm going to do is pick up the guns. I'm going to go over to the elevator. I'm going to drop the gun. Now, if I had the backpack with me, I could put the helmets in the backpack. So I'm going to now, because there's no bad guys in here. There could be other players, but you'd be very, very unlucky if you run into a player down here. But we're going to drop these guns on the floor. And we're just going to leave them here. Okay, we can also do the same with the armor that we've got. So we can take the helmet off in here, we're okay. We won't die in here. We can take off the bodysuit, take off the arms. We can take off the legs. And we're back in our undersuit now. We can run back inside here. And what we can do now is we can start to take these guys, take their gear. So this guy has got this racing vest on. We could put that in our backpack if we had it. Now these are worth a bit of money. We're not going to bother at the moment. Also, they'll have their guns on them. So you want to have a look for the guns. And the guns are going to make us some good money. So we want to pick these up. The guns are really what we're looking for. Alright, so now we can come back to this guy. This guy's got some armor on. So we could pick up his gear if we wanted to. Now, he's only got light armor, but he has got a head we can put on. He's got another gun there, so we can put his gun on if we want to. And again, it's just a case of looking around, finding the stuff you want to pick up. You don't really want to spend too much time here. There's no need. And we're not going to take everything with us. But this one's some medium armor, so we'll put that medium armor on. We'll put these legs on. We'll put these arms on. We don't really need anything else. It's not worth taking anything else at the moment, so... we got injured a little bit, so we're going to use a medical stim. Okay, and all we're looking for at the moment is just any other guns that we can see in here. Now, sometimes there'll be loot crates if we run around. You might find some. Have a look around the back. Sometimes you'll find little boxes that you can loot. There's none here at the moment, but that's it. Again, we've only got 30 minutes. We don't want to spend too much time. So, we've got the guns. There's some more gear here. You can also take this guy's gear if you want. Now, I'm only going to take the guns at the moment. Again, it's about being efficient more than anything else. So I've got 2 guns on my back, and I'm holding one, which means if I was to loot, there's actually a box there we can come and loot in a minute. But if I was to pick anything up or jump, I'd drop the gun I'm holding. You can only have 2 on your back. So holding this one here. I'm going to drop this one here. See, if I only had 1 gun on my back and I jumped, it would put the gun on the backpack. But if I've got 2 on my backpack already, the 3rd one will just drop on the floor wherever I am. So if you ever lose a gun, that's why. You dropped it when you did something. So we're going to run back around here. Now, it would be amazing if there was a backpack in here. But there's not. There is a medical pen. We can take that. We can actually put that into our core armor for now. There's also a medical attachment we can take. In fact, we can pretty much take all of this stuff. We're out with space because our core armor is now full, but we've got everything we need. So that was a good little medical box there. You can see it looks like a medical box. So again, you can find those little boxes spread around the area. But we're not going to waste any more time on those. This guy, not really important. He's got nothing on him. We're just going to take his gun. There's no one down there. The other good thing about kind of funneling everyone into the same place is when you kill them, you haven't got to run around the map trying to pick everything up. Alright, just going to pick up that second gun there. And we can check this guy. And we might want to take ammunition from him. Might want to take the consumables from them. But we can also put these from our core armor onto here. So they're on our belt. We can also put the medical... we can put a medical pen on here if we want. So now we've got a medical gun. We've got medical med pens. 2 guns here. Got some ammunition. So already, as you see, there's no point going to the shop and buying all this stuff. Because we can come straight in here and just pick it all up this way. I think I've got everything off this guy. He does have a few more magazines, so I can take those magazines. And I'm full. I don't actually have any space for anything else. I don't even think there's any more guns. I think I picked most of them up. Alright, so now we're going to head out. Yep, we've got everything. That's it. We're going to go. So a successful mission. Not only did we complete the mission, but we picked up all this loot, look. All this stuff. So now we can go up to the surface. And we're just going to pick up one more gun. So we've got our 3 guns on us. And we've got a little bit of gear on us as well. So we're going to head outside. And we're going to jump into our ship. And as soon as we jump into our ship, you'll notice now, if I press I, I've got my personal inventory and I've got my vehicle inventory. And so what I can do is I can drag this gun into my vehicle inventory. Okay, I can do the same. I may need to use the right mouse button to move around. And because it's a small ship, it's kind of difficult to see. But I can put everything in there. Now I can also, if I wanted to, put the legs in there and it will take everything off. I can put the core armor in here. It will take everything off. I can put the arms in here. Now, I could take the helmet off, but if I did that, just bear in mind, if I take the helmet off and I come outside, is it breathable? Is it safe? Because if I take that helmet off, what I don't want to do is I don't want to die. Also, look at the temperature. The temperature is going to affect you. It's going to hurt you, so bear that in mind. Now I can put this core armor back on. So grab this. Left click to equip it. I'm going to put the leg armor back on. And now I've got this heavy gear, which is the gear I wanted to wear. Put this. Now sometimes if you press equip, it doesn't actually equip. It just, if you do this, it kind of just puts it back into your hands and doesn't work. So, yep, just need to bear that in mind. So I've equipped it and it's back on me again. So I can try and store it. I can try and put it down. But yeah, sometimes it's just a bit of a pain. And that's one of the bugs in this game. You just have to bear that in mind. Alright. So we're going to take off this helmet because this is a light helmet. We don't want it. Drop that on the floor. We could take it back and sell it if we wanted to. We're going to put this helmet back on. Go ahead and equip that. And we're going to try one more time to put this leg armor on. I don't think it's going to work. This leg armor I think is bugged out. We'll try one more time. Yep, I think it worked that time. Great. Now we're going to pick these guns up. So we can carry 3 guns. Run out to the ship. Now again, it's about efficiency, and also you get the idea of this planet. Whilst it's night time, there could be a player sitting up on a ridgeline just waiting for you to shoot you and coming to steal all your gear in your ship. And that happens. Pirating is a real part of this game, so you just need to bear that in mind. You're always going to be at risk. I want to take off the gun on the back. And on the other side, just grab that gun. Got ourselves an LMG there, which is really nice. And go and pick the last few guns up. We're not going to spend too much time here. Again, we do need to leave. We can just pick up these 2. Can pick up this one. Now I've got my 2 guns and one on my backpack. I can actually pick up this helmet. It's telling me I need to remove my first. Normally you can pick up that helmet and carry it, but it's not going to let us. But it's fine. We'll leave that. We don't really need it. And that's it. We're back in our ship. So now we can grab these guns. And you can see already we're at about 37%. So we've got room for more gear. but not too much. So 39% of our ship, we've got, as you can see, a few bits of gear, a few guns, but already we've got a full set of armor. We've got loads of magazines, loads of med pens, so we're in a much, much better position now. Simply by doing that job, we're in a much, much better position now. Now we need to leave, otherwise we're going to get shot. So let's do that now. We're going to take off, and we're going to head back up. And what we want to do is head towards Port Tresla, and we can go and sell all of this gear. So we'll get out of the orbit. And that's the hour mark. So that's taken us 1 hour. We've done 3 missions. We've left the private property, so now the turrets and everything, we're safe. We're not going to get a crime stat. We can go ahead and open up our mini-map. Head over to Port Tresla. Oh, it says we're obstructed at the moment, so we just need to just head out a little bit further. We're not high enough at the moment, so pick up your landing gear. Get above the 11.5, which is the threshold. You'll know because it will tell you in the middle where it says quantum travel is now online. And now we should be able to head to Port Tresla. We'll route ourselves there. Quantum travel. We're going to go to orbital marker 1 first. And I'd say that's been a bit of a success today, because we started off with absolutely nothing. We now have a full set of gear. We have a series of guns, ammunition, and we've made some money. And we haven't finished yet because we've got to go and sell all of that gear we just picked up. Now, if we had the backpack, if I was clever enough to take it with me, we could have put a couple of the helmets in the backpack. But there's not really... I mean, you can strip all of the gear. It's not really worth it. You might want to on your first run, but the amount of time you spend running back and forth picking it up, I don't really feel like it's worth it. We're going to be making much more. Now, don't crash at this stage as you're coming in. Don't get too excited. It can be very tempting to just floor it into the space station and blow up. If we die now, with all of this stuff on us, we'll lose it. And that would be sad, because there's a lot of profit there.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
So we're going to come in to land on Hangar 2. Okay, just nice and easy. Alright, and again, once you get a bit closer, you can simply just put down your landing gear just to ease it in, but we want to get a bit closer before we do that. So anywhere around here, wherever you feel comfortable, you can put down your landing gear. You'll limit your speed to 30, and then you don't run the risk of just flying into the back of the hangar. When you first start the game, here is where you'll kind of do something and go, oh, what have I done? And before you know it, you've just kind of flown up and into the corner of the hangar. So it's going to happen. It's okay if it happens. Just take some time, practice. You'll get better at the game. It takes time.
Landing complete.
Alright, so now we're going to turn our engines off. We're going to press Y to get out of our ship. But before we get out of the ship, this is important. We're going to press I to open up our inventory. And now you can see our local inventory. Now before, this is where I should have put that backpack on. Okay, that was the mistake I made. I did not put my backpack on. But now I've got my vehicle inventory here, and I can move all to the local inventory. So now it's in Port Tresla. Now this is going to change in the near future, where you will actually have to come out and you'll have to do all of this manually. You won't be able to just dump it in that way. So the local inventories will eventually be going, and you'll physically have to come and move cargo and do stuff, and that's going to be a big game loop. And that's in the next big update, actually. But for now, in this version, we're just going to enjoy the local while it's still there. And we're going to store our ship, so our ship doesn't get impounded.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
Again, ignore the other 2 ships, you wouldn't have those. We're going to head downstairs to the Galleria. And we're going to go back to that weapon shop where we can sell everything. Now, if you did have the backpack and you picked up the guy's tops as well, you can go straight down the stairs in front here to the right, and you can sell them in the clothing store. I didn't take the backpack because I was stupid, and so for that reason I don't have any of those tops. So I'm just going to come in here instead. Click on armor. Now I've got 19,000 credits. 19,000 credits. Now before I sell everything, what I want to do is press I, and I want to make sure I'm wearing everything I want to take with me. So what do I want moving forward? Well, a PR rifle could be quite handy. So I could take that with me. But also the P8. The P8 isn't really worth that much money. It's not that good. So I could just take the P8 with me instead. The C64 also, if I've got that. The Custodian's worth a bit of money. The C64 is not really worth that much. So I'm going to take a C64 with me. I'm going to take everything else I've got on here off of me. I'm going to keep these C64 magazines. I'm going to put these on me. Now the reason I'm going to do this is because where we're going later to fight, I'll want some gear. And I'm not going to sell the ammo because the ammo is not worth selling. I've got enough med pens on me, so I'm going to put 4 med pens on me. So now I don't really need the medical gun. I could if I wanted to, but I don't need a medical gun. There's no need for it. So now I've got myself a gun, which is on my back, which means if I go to the terminal now, I won't sell any of this stuff that's on my body. I've got all of the armor and all the gear I want to keep on me, so I'm already fully kitted out now. I'm in a much stronger position. Again, if you want to, you could keep the medical gun. I'm not going to. Everything else here we're going to sell. And the other thing to consider as well is if we look inside, we can click here. It says there's 77% in these. So if I click on this, you can see there's actually some ammo that was in those legs. So now it's at 0. This one's got 27% in it. If I click here, it'll open up. And I can see all this stuff that was in it. Again, I can drag all of that out. I can just move it across if I want to. Move it across to local. Oh, and just save it there for another time. I don't really need to keep it on me. So there we go. That's all there. Come back to the armor screen now. And we're going to click on sell at the top. Alright, and remember we're at 19,000 credits at the moment, and we're going to sell everything here. Now we could categorize this just into personal weapons. Now look, the LMG is worth 2.1 thousand. The rifle 1.3 thousand. So let's just sell this ammo that we've got here first. Now I wouldn't normally bother selling the ammo, but we're not going to use it at the moment. You can just stock it up and keep it. But I want to show you here. So look at these guns. So we've got 2,100 here. 1,300 here. And again, so look at the credits already. This is why the guns were so important to pick up. And you'll start to realise when you pick stuff up, you'll know what's worth money and what's not. See, the C54 is not worth that much, which is why we're going to use it. Custodian's worth 1.3. Picked up 2 of those. We don't need the sniper rifle, and we also don't need this paramed refill. Again, it's not even really worth selling this. We had a few of them. There we go. And we've got a few of these as well. We're going to quick sell all of them. Alright, now we can sell our armor. Now the legs aren't really worth that much that we picked up, so only 340 for those. But we are going to get 960 for the core. And again, 320 for the arms. But it's all money. Now we'll keep the med pens, but that's it. We sold everything. We're up to 31,000 credits. So, just to recap on today. We have managed to pick up a full set of gear and a few bits of spare. Always good to have a bit of spare gear. We've also got some stuff in our leg armor here. We'll get rid of that. We don't need that. So we picked up a few bits of gear. We've got a backpack, core armor. We've got our leg armor. We've also got our arms. We've got a gun with loads of ammunition. And we've also managed to pick up 31,000 in credits. So I'd say that's a successful first day. Thank you very much for watching. Join us in a second video where we continue this adventure. I look forward to seeing you soon.